it's mixed up with the crack, right?
Yeah. They make it in their bathtub. It could be anything, eh?
Basically, any chemical product that they can find.
Barbiturates, whatever.
He's still on the edge. A bright kid who had the world by the tail. University educated, Sean played junior and university hockey. Then, 3 years ago, he started using cocaine. Last year, he switched to crack.
It was a rush. It was like no other. It was very intense and almost hallucinogenic, almost, with sounds and, your vision's off. Sounds are different. Like, it's very quiet, and then you come rushing in and everything seems quick, and I wanted to keep going and didn't want to stop, really.
And now he says he can't stop. Most nights he sleeps at the Salvation Army. He still gets money from his family in Thunder Bay.
What was he like as a boy?
He was nice, always happy.
A good boy, always happy.
His grandparents, Louis and Dolores Marcon, raised Sean. They've given him thousands of dollars, hoping he'd get the help he desperately needs.
When did you first start noticing that he was changing?
I think when he was in LU hockey, eh?
Yeah.
That's when.
And he moved off for a while and
come back. I started to notice lots of changes. His appearance, the way he kept his room.
Having Sean addicted and away, how hard has it been?
Oh, it's been terrible. It's just the broken promises all the time. He tells you one thing and he promises, I won't do this, I won't do that, and then it only lasts a few hours and back to the same old stories again. It's been tough. It's been really hard.
Sean says he knows what he's done to his family, but he just can't help himself. He says the crack rules him.
It's ruined my life. It's taken away my family from me and put me in a situation where I can't be with the people I love, and you're looked down on from society. You're a different person. It's a drug that takes away your sense of loving and caring, and you just want the drug. The drug controls you. You're not a human being. You're a drug, It's you just become the drug, and it's whatever you do is for the drug.
If people could give you something, if society, if your friends, if your family could do something to help you, what is it that you need?
Being able to have a good treatment place, where availability and when you have to make that step is there for you, and support, big support. It's hard to get into treatment, and it's hard to get help.
You want some yogurt, this too?
No one knows that better than Paul Soucy.
How you guys doing, eh?
He runs the Good Shepherd shelter, and he says it takes months to get into long-term treatment.
Really, what we need is a treatment center so that if someone came to us and said, listen, I've made a decision, I want some help, that we could pick them up and we can immediately take them to that center and begin a process of helping them to get a hold of their lives. We don't have that, so guess what? Nothing happens. Everything stays static.
Just as controversial is the provincial government funding of harm reduction sites.
Can I get 20 1cc syringes, please?
Addicts drop by to get drug paraphernalia. Everything from clean needles to crack pipes.
Can I get you some water?
Please.
The experts say it stops the spread of HIV and hepatitis C.
You clean really well before you inject?
Yeah.
Okay.
Paul Levine administers the program for the Public Health Department.
The empirical evidence around harm reduction programs and services, looking at their effectiveness, does point out to the fact that these programs work.
I can't see how this helps. I can't see how this helps giving out a crack pipe. Initially, the response was, well, they're not sharing it. I can tell you that's not true. They're absolutely sharing their pipes.
A security camera in a hotel lobby shows that addicts still share the pipes and their germs.
It's beyond embarrassing, and I think we need to make a concerted effort, first of all, to influence government to change and start recognizing the health issue that this is.
The Ottawa police chief is so desperate that he phoned Premier Dalton McGuinty for help. The Premier grew up in Ottawa, and he is the MPP for Ottawa South.
I requested a meeting in the fall with the Premier during the election, actually, just as the election started. I thought it was a good time to actually identify the issues. It's a downtown issue, really, and he's in the downtown area. And his campaign manager of the day called and said no, that the Premier wouldn't be meeting with me during the election, and possibly later. I've called back again later after the election, after they won, and received a voicemail saying that he was busy right now. So we're talking 10 months I've been here as the Chief of Police.
Premier Dalton McGuinty repeatedly refused to meet with W5 and referred us to Health Minister George Smitherman, who also refused to sit down with W5 to discuss the problem. So we finally caught up with the Premier in Sudbury.
How you doing, folks?
Premier, hi. Paula Todd, CTV.
Paul, I've seen you around before.
Have you? Listen, I got a quick question for you. How concerned are you about the crack and crime problem in your hometown of Ottawa?
Well, I'm always concerned as a parent about challenges associated with crime anywhere in the province.
Why won't you meet with the Ottawa Police Chief, Vern White? He's been trying to get your attention for 10 months. He wants to show you what a crisis is occurring there.
Look forward to meeting him.
But he would like to. He says he calls you and you're always too busy. Are you going to turn your back on the question?
Never.
But Premier, we have such a simple... Are you saying you're going to meet with him then?
While politicians ignore the problem, the virus of crime and crack continues to spread through the capital of Canada.
How are you, Kathy?
Hi, good. How are you guys?
Good, thanks.
And where did you find the pipe? Where did you get it?
I pick them up off the ground all the time. There's lots of them on the ground.
Where did you find that one?
That one over by the shelter.
This is something that it sneaks up on you, and you think everything's okay, and you think your neighborhood is great, and then one day you're going to stop, and you're going to stand on the street corner, and you're going to look around, and you're going to say, how the hell did this happen?
Johnny's waiting to do a toke. Okay, here we go. Dope and have some fun. Dope smoking 101.
The Ottawa Police Department has taken a special interest in Sean Perring, the hockey player originally from Thunder Bay. They are actively working on getting him into a residential treatment center. They believe there's a good chance he can get back on track. We'll be right back.
Next,
my family was attacked. I was attacked.
The devastating impact of internet bullies.
Every time you turn on the computer, you fear being victimized.
How more and more people who want to get even are doing it online. When CTV's W5 continues.
Welcome back. They hide inside an electronic world, and the damage they do can be devastating. Welcome to the world of the cyberbully. Like the bully we all remember from our school days, you know, the big kid who was always pushing the other kids around. Cyberbullies hone in on their victims in order to inflict their own brand of cruelty and ridicule. But unlike other bullies, as Sandy Rinaldo discovers in this report, the cyberbully's torment can extend far beyond the schoolyard.
David Knight doesn't seem like the kind of guy anyone would ever want to push around. He's 23. Life is good. He's got his hobby car, a university degree, and he's heading off to train with the Canadian Forces to be a fighter pilot. But things were very different when David was a boy in school.
I remember one day on the playground when I was in the 4th grade seeing a bunch of older kids picking on a little kid. And I basically told them, hey, pick on somebody your own size. Well, of course, they left that little kid alone, and they came straight after me.
From that day onward, David was a target, a victim of bullying.
How bad did it get?
When it started in grade 4, it was a game. By the time I got to grade 12, I was being sent to the hospital with blood coming out of my ears because I had been so badly beaten.
Old-fashioned bullying, pushing, shoving, insults and threats. There's an incident like this one at a BC school, somewhere in a school playground every 7 minutes. But David's torment didn't stop at the school bell. It escalated from school hallways to the internet.
They had taken my picture, posted it on the top of this website, and underneath it they'd put, you know, welcome to the website that makes fun of Dave Knight. And when you clicked on the link to read the guest book, it was just full of pages and pages of comments. I mean, my family was attacked. I was attacked. I was accused of being a pedophile. I was accused of, you know, my sister was called dirty. Pretty much the worst stuff a 16-year-old kid can think of to say.
And then there was this. Stop using date rape on little boys and then taking them in the back of your car. You are an ugly gay loser who has no life, no friends. It is called cyberbullying, but it doesn't just happen on the internet. Cyberbullying is any kind of electronic bullying, texting threats on a cell phone, or posting insults on the internet. In this electronic age, the opportunities are almost limitless.
Hi guys, how are you?
Psychologist Wendy Craig studies the effects of bullying here in a place she calls the Bully Lab at Queen's University. Her charts show old-fashioned bullying is bad, but cyberbullying is worse.
It's gossip gone high tech, but with much more devastating consequences because you have a broader audience. You don't know who that audience is. Every time you turn on the computer, you fear being victimized. And so the impact of being victimized by that kind of bullying is absolutely devastating.
Devastating, and for David, an attack on his last refuge.
When it changed Dave from being a physical threat to a cyberspace threat, was that even more frightening for you?
You see, the one thing about being beaten up at school is that at least you know you're at school from 9 o'clock in the morning until 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And then you can go home to your house where it's safe. Your parents are there, your family's there. You can switch off and forget about the fact that today you got picked up and dropped into a trash can. But when the bullies finally started using the internet to harass me, that ruined my sense of safety that I had at home.
Cyberbullying might start electronically away from school, but its effects follow the victim right here to the classroom. It works like this. Threats and nasty remarks are posted on the internet and passed from kid to kid through cyberspace. By the time the victim arrives at school the next day, he or she has no idea just how many students are in on the act.
Is it, you know, the quiet, shy girl sitting next to you in class? Is it, you know, the sports player at the front of the class? Is it the guy who you know was beating you up already? You don't know where it comes from. Psychologically, that's 10 times more punishing than any physical assault in a hallway.
Cyberbullying works because peers participate. If we take away that peer participation, the cyberbullying will no longer exist because it doesn't have the power. It doesn't have the power of the negative message being transmitted. It doesn't have the power of the support inherent when you pass on that negative message.
It's just one big pile of parts, so.
David's parents went to the school and police for help, but the bullying went on and on.
Why do you think nobody, not the school board, not the police, why do you think no one was able to help you during this horrible, horrible period in your life?
At times, I think people just wanted to sweep it under the rug and pretend it wasn't a problem.
But it wasn't just police and schools sweeping the problem under the rug. For 2 years, the internet service provider refused to pull the offensive site down until David's family threatened legal action. It was easy to bully online back then. Now, with social networking sites, it's even easier.
In today's world of like Facebook and MySpace, it's incredibly easy to start a group, to start an event, to put up a page making fun of somebody.
Tiana Barbaza Cusino knows what that feels like. She's 14 and she is being bullied online.
I started voicing my opinions on Facebook in this one application, Honesty Box. It's anonymous. I get all these messages saying like, you're a slut, you're a whore, you're fat, you don't deserve to be alive, just stop talking already, no one wants to hear you. One message said, you talk all the time about how sad you are, so why don't you just kill yourself already? And I took it seriously. I felt that there was something wrong with me.
What did you do?
I started cutting myself and starving myself.
Anybody know you were doing it?
Not for a while.
Who found out?
My friends found out when I was 12 or 13, and my parents parents found out a few months ago.
Just a few months ago?
Yeah.
Why didn't you go to them?
I didn't really feel like they could help me.